I know I was the first, I was, and all of that, the first, female, and all the things that were first as far as Motown was concerned. But one of the things is that I also have to give probably Mr. Gordy and Mrs. Edwards credit for when the artists went out, they wanted them to show themselves properly, to be able to speak if someone was talking to you and not do a lot of uhs and does and ain'ts and don'ts or whatever. They wanted a good reflection, and they also wanted you to look nice and to be clean, not just to come on stage just because you can sing. You needed to present yourself well so that when you look back later on, you'd be proud of that. And my manner of dress at that time was very simple, classic. I didn't have a lot of frills and I was going to say no bows, but that's not true. I remember having that little bow in the center of my head, because that was something of the fashion at the moment, But when the girls came, they all seemingly wanted to emulate the way that I was, because I'd already been out on the road at least a couple of years, so I did learn a few things, that was helpful to me, as well as I could tell them some of the pitfalls and some of the good things that happen on the road and how to avoid, some of the wolves that were trying to maybe come a little too close. So we'd have long conversations, and how to wear your hair. And when you look back at the old pictures, when you think about it, before the big pompadours and big bouffants and all that, I think every artist really looked really good for that time and day. It was, they were cleaned up and they looked nice, because when some of the artists came to Motown, some might have been just a wee bit rough around the edges, depending on what neighborhood they had come from, and which is very understandable. I mean, I don't think that we were just the greatest looking ourselves, but we learn from experience by going out on the road and seeing other people and how they looked. Because I want to tell you, I don't know if you really know Jerry Butler well, but I will tell you, when he came on stage, oh my God, it looks like, every suit looked like it cost at least $5,000 or something. Because he wore those raw silk suits that were fitted, like extremely fitted, tailored well. And when that's why they called him the Iceman, because he was so cool, And he did teach us. He also deserves credit for one of the things that he taught us, and that was how to hold your hands properly when you're performing. You've got like 4 people out there. You can't just be all over the place like, whatever. And he would say, no, bring your hands in, close to your body, smooth. Well, he was cool himself. So he also helped a lot because he had been in the Army, and he would cook for us, because we had to find a way to eat, and he knew how to cook, and he did a great job. He also would bring his wife everywhere that he went. And because I was on the road, then it's like we became instant friends. She was Annette and I was Claudette, and Annette is my middle name, and we just had a great time. But he's one to really be recognized and revered.